Welcome to Holley Sniper EFI Training Part 7. In this training module, we're to be exploring keystrokes and editing techniques that are going to speed up our interfacing with the laptop software. Without further wait, let's jump in so we can check this out. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look at working with our keystrokes and editing techniques found within our Holley Sniper EFI software. We want to learn our keystrokes and different ways we can edit within our software here so that we're more effective and more efficient when we're doing our calibration process using our Sniper system. It's actually relatively straightforward in terms of these keystrokes. There's not a ton of them, and we definitely want to go ahead and learn them. So we're going to go over each keystroke here and what it actually does, and then we're going to talk about doing proper editing techniques, what we have available here in the software. I'm going to give a couple of demonstrations of using editing techniques in something like our main field table, or a two-dimensional table such as our cranking field table. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at a whole bunch of things here in this tutorial. Let's jump in here and first take a look at our basic keystrokes. This is going to allow us to bring up certain features and functions within our software. All we need to do is use our Alt button, and then we will hit a certain key on our keyboard. So the very first keystroke we're going to have here, we're going to do this in alphabetical order. We're going to find that if I do Alt and then I hit A, we have our acceleration enrichment table pop up here. We can see it's already highlighted on our acceleration enrichment area, and that's going to be accessed very quickly. So anytime I want to look at my acceleration enrichment, I can hit Alt A and it pops up my table here. So let's go ahead and close this out and we'll continue on to the next. The next option is going to be Alt and then B, and that's going to be for boost control setup. Now this may not be relevant to you if you have a base sniper system. A super sniper system that I have here has the ability to control boost. Base sniper systems do not, so this may or may not be relevant. So let's go ahead and close that out. The next keystroke here is going to be Alt and then E. That's going to bring up our engine parameters. This is all of our system parameters, or the basic parameters we need to make sure are right so we can pop into there very quickly. All right, let's go ahead and close this out. The next is going to be here, Alt and then the letter F. That's going to bring up our main fuel table. We're going to be working within the main fuel table quite heavily, so this keystroke is something that you likely want to remember because it will be something that you want to use very frequently because, again, we're going to be editing and working within our main fuel table here pretty heavily. Let's go ahead and close that out. Now the next keystroke here is going to be, again, Alt, and then it's going to be I for idle control. This allows you to go and source your idle control settings, idle speed, idle control park settings. Let's close that out here. The next keystroke here is going to be Alt and then the letter L. That's going to bring us into our learned fuel trim table. This is going to be used in the closed loop operation. This is going to be essentially a modifying factor against our main fuel table, and we'll talk about what this means in future training tutorials, but we have that Alt L function to bring up this specific table. Let's go ahead and close this out here. The next is going to be Alt and then the letter N, and that's going to bring up our stage 1 of nitrous control. Now again, depending on which specific sniper system you have, you may or may not be able to use the nitrous control, and you have to have your nitrous ICF here added from your toolbox. We've added it in here already. It's present in the calibration. In order to call on it, we have to have that added in here. So Alt N brings up your nitrous control. Let's go ahead and close this out here. The next option is going to be Alt and then the letter S. That's going to bring up our main spark timing table. So this is going to be where we command our spark timing to happen at as our engine is running. So that's going to be another very frequently used keystroke, the one that you probably want to go ahead and learn. Let's go ahead and close that out. The next keystroke is going to be our Alt, and then it's going to be the letter T. This brings up our system parameters, specifically our EFI parameters. This is going to be related to the specific system we're working with, our fuel type, things like our actual fuel pressure, and then injector information that we'd have to program in here. Let's go ahead and close this out. Then we have two more additional keystrokes that we can work with here. So we're going to have Alt and then X. That's going to bring up our startup enrichment tables. This is for our starting fuel and our after start fuel. And then close that out here. Lastly, if we do Alt and then Z, that brings up our target air fuel table. So those are going to be our keystrokes in alphabetical order. And it does make sense in working with these in terms of having to remember Alt and then the letter is going to usually designate to stand for something such as the table is represented as. So for example here, Alt N would be for nitrous, or Alt S for spark timing, or in this case, Alt A for acceleration enrichment. So those make sense. So for other keystrokes like Alt-X or Alt-Z, they're a little bit more difficult to remember, but they're present, and that's why we're covering them here in this tutorial. The ones I use the most frequently are Alt-F and Alt-S. So fuel table, spark timing table. From personal experience of using the software, those are definitely the most useful. And again, we can still access all the same. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here. And you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.